I am crossing my fingers that my internet connection today is going to stay strong as I am hanging out with Shannon Maley. Look, spirits are hitting the chimes already for a nice big hello. If you hear the chimes in the background and you're new to this channel, that is spirit hitting it because there is nothing over there to make that chime go. So getting back to my friend, Shannon Maley, she is a JBM mentorship grad this year, 2020. Yay! She is a mixologist reader. That's what I call her because she's able to blend astrology, tarot, intuition, and she does it in a way where she can coach businesses and people, how to be their conscious higher self. It is beautiful. So I'm really happy to hang out with her. And plus, she's got another surprise on her plate, is that she is the new face for the Virtual Center for Love and Light, as she is bringing it back to life in the virtual world. I am so excited about it. Here she is. Shannon on that side. There you are. Yay!
Hello.
Hi. How's it going over there?
It's wonderful.
You're hanging out in Asheville, yeah?
Yeah, it's a little kind of cloudy today, but it's great. We're good in Nashville.
That's it too. It's sunny but cold and tons of fluffy clouds. Oh, everybody is sending you a big hello. Katie P, Tiffany, Lynn. She's hi, Shannon. Amy 19789. She's like, hi. Oh, that's so cool. Katie Wayne says, all of the graduates have been so interesting to meet. They are so different. All different walks of life, planes. It is wonderful. I enjoy it too. Yeah, everybody's saying that. Emma, good morning from Oregon. Nice to have you. So Shannon, before we dive in and just kind of talk about all this glorious, amazing work that you can do, can you take a little bit of time and just share about yourself? How did you get here? And what kind of work are you really doing?
Sure. So I guess I kind of got here. I've been studying astrology since I was about 18 years old, 16, 17, 18 years old, on and off. And so I think that honestly, I've always been kind of sensitive, and so now I'm just kind of, I guess, fully coming into my own and my own experience, and it's begun to play a greater and greater part of my life. So essentially, that's how I got here for sure. I've been a Luminaire for quite a while, several years, and just love the community and love the center. So I when the idea of a mentorship came up, I jumped at the chance because I just, sorry, you might see my little kitty Francis. Now all of a sudden he wants to get in on the conversation. So yeah, I mean, that's really how I've gotten here. And I think it's great, and I'm happy to be here.
What kind of sensitivities did you have? Did you grow up this way, like highly sensitive person, aware of subtle light energy, or is it something that you stepped into it as an adult?
I had a little bit of it when I was younger, when I was very young, and didn't really know it. And as I looked back now, I realized, oh, that's what that was. I was like, oh, and it was a lot more in the dream time. And then later, years later, as I continued and started to pick up on my meditation practice, then all of a sudden, I started to get a lot more, I call what I get the shivers. So I get physical sensations in my body, and I just call it the shivers. It's like when you have a chill. And so when somebody's saying something or I'm reading and I get chills, and I know literally in my head, I hear, this is true, this is true, this is true. And so then I kind of know that it's kind of my confirmation to like go ahead and say it. And so I I've been kind of trying to develop that as much as possible, and developing a language so that I can kind of understand. Um, and I get signs and much more now than I ever have. And I guess it's that opening up and that conscious intention of wanting that connection with spirit.
I'm still lingering on I get the shivers. I love this, Shannon. Shannon shivers.
It's true. And it's like it goes up and down, and sometimes it's really faint, but then other times it's like screaming at me, and the shivers go from my feet to my head and then back down. And that's when I know that I'm on the right track.
So now that you have that natural instinct, what got you interested in tarot and astrology? Like, I love that you put the two of them together. I honestly didn't know because it's not my field, tarot and astrology. I like both of them. I've dabbled in tarot. You know, I've got my favorite decks and things like that, but I haven't dabbled in astrology. And I didn't know that the two of them fit so nicely together. And that's a type of reading that you give for people. I want to know more, please. Ground level, real basic for me, okay?
So with astrology, it's basically you can take a look at when someone was born, and based on their birth chart, you get, because astrology really is a language to talk about energy, right? Because everything is energy.
Yeah.
And so it is almost a language to talk about energy itself. And so the astrology chart is really your energy at the time of your birth. The tarot is all about the fool's journey. So you have the fool, which is, starting off on his new journey and path. And all the cards for the whole deck really kind of outline his whole journey. And that's the journey that we take through life. And that's all of it. The good, what I call the shenanigans, not so fun, the lessons that we learn, the blessings, and that's all represented in an image. And so because some of those cards correlate, and the suits, meaning pentacles, cups, wands, and swords, represent elements. So swords are air, pentacles are earth, wands are fire, and cups are water. And there are correlations between the signs in astrology that correlates to the elements. So it's a really amazing and kind of it's just a tool, and both of them are tools to understand ourselves better and to be able to speak the language of energy. So sometimes you can't get that,
Are you saying like when you blend them together, the tarot, like you said, is the fool's journey? I've never heard it explained that way. That's the human existence, and the astrology is kind of like the pure essence, like stamp or mark of birth, and you can kind of layer them.
Mm-hmm. And both actually can give you information about now, about what's happening now. So I don't typically do organized card spreads. I usually, as I'm talking to a client, I'll just intuitively start to shuffle. And then when I do, invariably, cards just pop out. And then we take a look at them. And usually when I take a look at them, I'm getting the shivers. And then I start to communicate what I'm getting from those cards.
Yeah, you're getting awesome feedback. Anita is just shouting out hi from Norway. Oh. But Wendy was also sharing the sensitivities that run in her family, how her great aunt got the shivers and she could smell cancer, and that her mom just knows things of that nature. Jamie Peterson is showing up for the first time in the channel, and he's seeing you. she saying hi. I heard that in my head. I hope that was right. And then Dr. Brooke is giving you a shout out, saying that you blend tarot and astrology so well.
Mm.
And Lynn was saying, I find it so amazing how astrologers can retain so much information along with reading the tarot. My ears are, look, they're getting red. Just that one, not this one, just this one. Spirit, they were moving in when you were talking about the shivering, and I was laughing, and now I feel like I'm packed in like sardines over here. We're all talking to Shannon Maley. It's kind of cool. I love how your life is totally organic. It's not like you said, oh, look at that over there. I'm going to jump on that bandwagon. I'm going to push it. Or like it was like, when you watch a movie and you see something new and shiny and you just go for it. It seems like everything has developed in your life just so naturally, one by one. And here you have developed this system for yourself. But that's not the only cool thing you do, because I've known you for a few years and I've seen how you do this. I call it media guru. I don't know if you approve of my slapping that label on you, but guru means to bring light from darkness, to shine light on dark. And you do that so seamlessly, and the whole like social media, business, branding, idea, gathering these virtual communities. You started off before the pandemic building the Holding Asheville, which is where everyone can find Shannon on Instagram and Facebook and even a YouTube. And you didn't launch the .com because everything started to happen and you couldn't manifest your physical space.
Yeah.
So now you started dabbling on it in the virtual world. And that's where I was like, could I need your help, Shannon Maley? And introduced you. Well, you've known the center for a while, but asked if you would step in and kind of put your eyes and your loving hands and that media guru self of yours onto the virtual Center for Love and Light. And you said yes. She said yes.
Yes.
What is it like it's a twofold question, transition from dedicating your life to build something in person and then have a global pandemic, to have everything kind of take that off your plate, shift gears, okay, and you're rolling with it. How was that to watch that change?
Mm-hmm.
And then how is it building a virtual environment and seeing how the virtual environment is just as powerful and impactful and incredible as a physical environment?
So when I was starting the Holding, I was thinking about a center very much like the Center for Love and Light. The Center for Love and Light, I used to go down every month to go down with NC Grace and Maitland and Jamie and Colleen and just the whole gang. And it was a wonderful place for me. It was a place of growth, exploration, fun, laughter. It was just a wonderful experience. And I wanted to have that here in my local community in Asheville. And I was all in and going to do it. COVID happened. And I started to ask the questions about, what do I do now? Where do I put my energy? And actually, Grace, at one point, when I asked the question at a reading, at a channeling, Grace said online. And at the time, I thought, online? But come on, really? And it's pretty funny for me to actually say this because I have an IT background. I've been an IT professional, a technologist for years. And so I think it's kind of funny and ironic that I think that at first when I talked about the online, or when Grace talked about the online, I kind of thought, oh, well, and so it took me a little bit of time to figure out what that looks like. How do you establish that kind of community online? And during COVID, I think we all kind of understood how critical community is. And yet we weren't able to all get into the same room. And so it's at really during that time that Spirit really just started to show me exactly what it was all about. Sometimes they have to do that for me. Like, okay, Shannon, listen, we'll show you how it's done. And essentially, Jamie started to be way more active online, which was lovely because I loved seeing her, and I see her now more than I did when I was traveling down to Atlanta all the time. And so I think it's that realization that community is more critical now than ever, especially during the pandemic. And if we understand that energy transcends time and space, so does the healing. So the healing transcends time and space. And it's that community, which is more than just physical. I mean, we're all on here right now online, and you're my community. It's more than physical space. It's heart, it's mind, it's spirit, it's all together. And that's really what a community is, being able to support each other, to explore. And the online community allows us to do that. Distance is no longer a problem. You don't have to jump in the car anymore. Now, granted, I still love hugs and I still want to see everybody, but distance and physical space is no longer an issue now, and everyone can join. And so accessibility to healers and to all different types of people who are conscious minded are so much more available now. And that is such a wonderful thing. I mean, I view us in this community as points of light, and points of light all over the globe. I get kind of emotional when I think about it, because really right now, with the way things are in in our communities, how essential workers are working, how many people are thinking about how they need to live their lives and reassessing what's important. We have the opportunity with the online center to spread light and to be that support for all light workers across the entire globe. It's no longer in Asheville. It's no longer in Atlanta. It's everywhere. And that's where we find our support. And that's pretty amazing to me. And so I absolutely wanted to be a part of it because,
I'm thrilled that you're a part of it, because now I know that the community that we built in person can continue to come together online. And I love when you said that distance is no longer a problem. I was like, oh, that's so cool to hear that. Now it's just internet's the problem.
Yes. It's true. That access to different types of healers now now the opportunities are limitless. It's
true.
Our ability to reach that many more people is exponential. And that is really inspiring, because it's really the lumineers, it's really the light workers that are going to in turn help with consciousness and support others and support everyone. And so that just excites me, and I love it.
Paul L. Distance, schmishtance. Schmishtance. I can't even say it. So do you think what we're going to see more of in these virtual communities is education about how to connect long distance? Like, I've been doing readings over the phone since not the beginning of my career, but right at the beginning, probably a year or so into it.
Mhm.
And even then, people were like, well, how can you? I was like, well, how can you have a conversation over the phone? I can do the same thing with spirit. But we're talking about healing and connection and all of this. You're right. Energy transcends time and space. So I guess what I was saying, do you think you're going to see more practitioners educating the masses on how this does really work?
Yes. Yes. And I think it's also about uh, when I mentioned that community is more than just physical, it's just more than a physical group or a physical space, that it takes heart and mind, it's also intent. So I believe that the intention and the heart-centered intention that we put on healing and knowledge and understanding each other and communicating clearly, that is all that's needed. That is all that's needed to transcend miles, distance, you name it.
And you give readings long distance too.
I do.
You do. You do your tarot astrology readings, and I want to have you highlight that. We're going to pause and give a shout out to Karen Ryan, who is a new member to the YouTube community. So, yay, Karen!
Welcome.
Which is awesome. And you're getting Kelby saying, Shannon, what a cute haircut. Cute new dude.
Oh, thank you.
Looks so good on you. You are offering to the Luminaires tarot astrology reading. It's a 45-minute session. You could be anywhere in the world.
Mhm.
They have to book it by the end of the year, and
Mhm.
you're going to give them 25% off.
Yep.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that. There it is.
Yep, 25% off, especially during this time, beginning of the new year, new beginnings. It's going to be great. And Lumineers, by the way, just so everybody knows, there's a big astrological, I guess, event happening right now. We have today a total solar eclipse. Today. Which is all about new beginnings.
Nikki Shao was just listing all this stuff, and you and I were chatting a little bit last night before we were going to do the interview, and you were like, and this is happening, and this is happening, and this is happening. And I was like, oh my God, obviously we were supposed to interview you today because I don't know any of this. And Nikki was saying that 17th December, Saturn enters Aquarius. 19th of December, Jupiter enters Aquarius. 21st of December, both planets are in the same place, conjunct Aquarius. Pluto comes in Aquarius. It sounds like a fight, doesn't it? 19th of November, 2024, and the planets. She's like, Aquarius, Uranus, what will happen? Like, what is going on? So you brought it up. Can you dabble into it?
I can.
That's getting a taste of you, kind of, and how you work your nice little magic in your sessions.
I can, because I'm really, 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 really excited about it. And admittedly, I'm an Aquarius. And Jamie's an Aquarius too, just FYI. But so the eclipse is all about bringing in new energy. It's all about new beginnings. And usually with an eclipse, there's something that with new, something else has to leave. So typically there is a release or a let go of, or an eclipse of something. It can be a person, a place, an idea, a belief. It really runs the gamut, and it really depends on where that eclipse is falling within your chart, within your own natal chart. the very next day, so it is fresh energy, new beginnings, and it is there is um, no accidents here with all the amount of astrological transits that are happening right now. So I believe it's Tuesday. Chiron, who is another planet, is known by astrologers as the wounded healer. So Chiron is bringing in fresh energy. It is moving direct. So it is now more at its most powerful, where the energy flows really, really well and with ease. And that's all about with a solar eclipse, meaning the sun and your identity and who you are. And then the very next day happening, Chiron, the wounded healer, goes direct. This is on a global scale, and certainly I'm thinking in the US, is more about healing oneself, healing within, and taking that new energy to be able to step forward into the new year. Saturn and Jupiter are moving into Aquarius, essentially within days of each other, and they will conjunct. Conjunction is an aspect where two energies blend. Jupiter is a planet of expansion. It is hope. It is the search for truth. Saturn is about putting structures in place, restrictions, responsibilities. Having those two energies merge allows you to be able to have the tools to be able to put in the structures to realize your dreams, to realize the hope, to realize the growth that and the wonderful kind of possibilities that Jupiter provides. So it's about future. It's about putting structures in place for next year, which is fantastic given that we are creating the online center. We're working diligently. We're gathering instructors to come on board.
That's true, we are.
From all kinds of, I mean, everyone, global, for diversity. So we'll have instructors and events and channeling, and Maitland and Grace, I'm hoping, will still channel there. So it's now our ability to expand Jupiter. We're putting in the structures in place right now, Saturn, so that we can expand and go global.
It's like KDP was like, this feels like big magic. And I'm listening to you, and all of a sudden I was like, okay, this is too much for me to handle. And I was typing in there going, man, I didn't even lay this out as a question I was going to ask Shannon. She's like shooting from the hip. This is all a pure, true to life example about how you roll with astrology and how you incorporate in your everyday, how you incorporate it in your everyday. It was great. Thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome.
And then I threw out like a call to action. If you want to be an instructor, if you're interested on the Virtual Center for Love and Light, let us know at unite@withloveandlight.com.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, this is all so much. Oh, Tina Marie, you're bringing it back around. I love you so much. She says, I got the shivers listening to you say all of that. Bless you. God, gifting us with your presence, for gifting us with your presence. I'm so grateful I was drawn to watch this. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad.
Janelle, you're so cute. She says we're both beaming. And Judy's giving us a ciao, everyone. Ciao. You got your glass of wine in hand, right, Judy? Mm-hmm. Oh, this is so wonderful. I'm so happy that everybody is here. Thank you so much for watching. This is Shannon Maley. If you're new to the thread, I see we have a lot of newcomers right now.
Yay, welcome.
And she's a JBM mentorship graduate from 2020 this year. And she is offering 25% off of her 45-minute Tarot Astrology long distance healing. You can be anywhere in the world. Check out her email. It's listed in the thread. Head over there, email her, and she can get you booked and set up for that. And she's also launching the Center for Love and Light virtually. And the email for that is unite@withloveandlight.com. You can head over there, send an email, a hello, curiosity. Oh gosh, there's so many other questions.
And I will absolutely be sending out, stay tuned on social media, because we'll be sending out information about the membership and what it entails. And so it's going to be fun. It's going to be great.
So much fun. I'm thrilled. So in closing, because I don't want to say all good things come to an end, but our linear time keeps ticking. And I want to be respectful of your time, Shannon. Listening to your story of kind of growing up sensitive, being drawn to tarot, astrology, just putting the bits in your life together, I can kind of guess why you became an entrepreneur, why you're out there on your own, why you're looking for those kind of parallel yet outside of the box ways to pull together community to inspire people. It's a big passion of yours. Through all of this, have you landed on some information? I like to call them a golden nugget that you kind of lean on, or like a go-to phrase, reference, or experience to help keeping you kind of together or soldiering on? And if so, would you mind sharing it with us?
Sure. So I think that especially now in where we find ourselves with the pandemic and how so many things are changing, it's as simple as something profound, but really, for me, it's all about when things get challenging. I've learned to go within, and I've learned that I need to center myself, and that there is nothing, there really isn't anything to fear. There's nothing to worry about, because I'm in my head a lot, I have to say. And that life is joyous. That no matter how crazy and wacky everything gets, we have gratitude and people that love us and points of light everywhere. And it's all about choosing joy. It's all about choosing that loving thought, no matter what it is, and no matter in whatever circumstance you find yourself, go for that loving thought, because really that's all that matters. That's all there is.
Oh my God, it deserves the moment of silence. It does. Because it is. Even Daniel, he goes, as a Southerner, I say, keep on keeping on. There's this, internal call.
Mm-hmm.
I love that that's what you rely on, and it shows with who you are and how you show up.
Oh.
It's been such a pleasure working with you for the last 5 months and knowing you for several years, and now cultivating a business relationship with you. I am thrilled about this, Shannon.
Oh, and I am too, and so grateful. I know I've mentioned it to you before, but you're just light. And I am grateful that we've been meaning to work together for how many years now, and all of a sudden it just happened, and now is the time. I guess the timing was right. And I'm grateful and loving it. I can't wait.
Oh, thank you. And to all the luminaires out there on YouTube and Facebook, thank you so very much for being here. This is the second week in 2 weeks that I'm taking time every day, Monday through Friday, to introduce another JB mentorship graduate. So we will have one for each of the days for the rest of this week. And I think you will be caught up with everything.
Oh,
I want to say, yeah.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
So, if anybody, word on the street is Jamie's going to do another mentorship.
You busted me. Okay.
And so I just want to let everybody know that if you are so inclined, if you have, if a little voice tells you that maybe you should check into it, you should check into it. It was amazing. Not only was it super fun and really such a learning experience. Like, I think I grew so much without almost even realizing it, like by leaps and bounds. And I am so grateful. And the people that I met, the mentorship group, they're amazing. And so I'm so lucky. And it's a really supportive, really fun place to grow and to learn. And so if you do have the opportunity, I would say, go do it, because it's fun and it's fantastic.
Thank you for that.
And it's true. It's true. You would be doing yourself a disservice if you are on a path and you want to discover. You would do a disservice if you didn't.
My heart's feeling really, really full and my cheeks are flushed. Thank you.
Anybody can call me or email me if they need more info.
We've got her email.
Yeah.
We've got 2 of her emails now.
Yeah.
There's no avoiding it. Oh my God. Thank you, Shannon.
Oh, thank you. And
thank you, Luminaires, for being here, for choosing to show up, for listening, for choosing your happiness, everything. I'm a little wordless now. Thank you, Shannon. Bye, everybody. Take care. Be well.
Bye.
Bye.